A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Nosa Adams, was a guest on Arise a few days ago, and in the course of his interview claimed that Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State had failed to manage relationships because of what the People's Democratic Party are now considering rank outsiders to win the forthcoming governorship election in the state. Chris Nehikhare is Edo State Commissioner for Communication and Orientation. Well, he joins us now to exercise his right of reply to those comments made, as well as offer his thoughts on the court judgment that invalidated the PDP's governorship primaries in Edo State. Many thanks for joining us. Welcome to Newsday.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right. So what is your response to APC chieftain Nosa Adams claiming that Governor Godwin Obaseki failed to manage relationships and therefore PDP is bound to lose the forthcoming governorship elections? Your response?
Well, Barrister Nosa Adams came on television to try to justify whatever he has received from the APC. Our government has been transparent, has been accountable, and has been very responsible. When you hear people like Barrister Nosa speak, and the words he used and the things he said, I think it's clear for you to understand that Barrister Nosa is a disgruntled politician who has failed and not able to have his hands in the Treasury of Edo State because the government stopped such bad behavior, which was the norm in the past. This government has spent its resources in developing Edo State and developing its people, and the records are there. Edo people are very aware and appreciative of the way the government, this government especially, has run the affairs of the state. And we are getting kudos from all over the place, from international partners, from other countries, other subnationals, but of course, those that were not able to achieve their personal ambition, those that were not able to have their hands in the till of Edo State, are those that are crying and those that are making unscrupulous statements. We have decided not to respond to Nosa because what he has done or what he says, the way he behaves, is what we have been experiencing in the last 4 years here in Edo State. Anger, destruction, deflection. And these people are not doing well. They don't care for the people they're supposed to lead. So when they come on air and come on television to start making such statements, we in government just laugh because we get feedback from the people directly. People like Nosa, one of those that actually came up to people like me and said, your government is building street lights all over the place. Does street light vote? This is what someone who is supposed to be responsible, a lawyer, that's the kind of thinking he has. He wants the money and mark for the people to be given to him to share at his own will. But we have said no. So I'd like to talk about progressive things right now. Talk about what we have done for Edo people. What Edo people are enjoying from the hands of the PDP government led by Governor Godwin Obaseki. Those are the things that really matter to us.
Very well said. Now, Mr. Nehikhare.
You've heard it severally.
Very well said. You said you want to talk about progressive things, and I would really like us to talk about that. Because Mr. Adams claimed that Governor Obaseki has abandoned the erosion program put in place by Adams Oshiomhole, and that if it rains for more than 2 hours, the roads in Edo State are completely unmotorable. In fact, he more or less alleges that Governor Obaseki has done absolutely nothing. He says there's no light, no road, the educational sector is in shambles, healthcare is poor, and a lot of things. So I'd like you with proof to refute these allegations. Let's know what the governor has been doing.
Well, you say with proof. I think when you talk of education, I think that's the most important thing, because we are investing in the future when we talk about education. Our children today are probably the best educated children from primary school to secondary school. We have other states, even the governor of Lagos State was here and he told us he's copying a model which we developed. We call it Edo Best here in Edo State. We've had countries, from people from Rwanda, other countries come here to copy our model of Edo Best. The governor has been invited to UNICEF severally to talk about the successes of Edo Best. That is just in education. But people like Nosa will not see that because he's not getting the monies in his pockets. And then he talked about erosion. Erosion, this is the first government that is actually tackling erosion as it should be tackled. But unfortunately, we are now where we call the global change that is going on, the climate change. It's going on all over the world. Is Governor Obaseki the governor of Lagos, where I'm sure a couple of days you saw what happened in Lagos State that has to do with flood. You see what has happened in Dubai. You see what's happening in Jamaica right now. But we are tackling this. In the last 6 months, Edo State government has put on underground drainage of over 40 kilometers in Benin City and across the other local governments. Adams Oshomole, the former governor, yes, he started it. He had a design for the erosion control. And this government has expanded it and even done more. In Benin City alone, just in one area, in GRA section alone, we have over 13 retention ponds that receives water when it rains, and directs it to Ogba River. Not only that, in the areas we had waters all this period, in the past maybe 20, 30 years, when it rains, even if there's water there, if you come back in less than 6 minutes, 6 and 20 minutes later, all the water is drained out. But Nosa is not happy because his bread is not buttered from that side. On the road infrastructure, this government has constructed over 730 kilometers of roads. All these are verifiable. There's data to prove all these things. And Nosa Adams knows that. So when he talks about governor hasn't done anything, yes, governor hasn't done anything for him. Governor has denied him access to government and state treasury. That is what he's crying about. Not about development. In the area of infrastructure, this government has built landmark buildings all over the place. The last government said they were going to build what we call the ShopRite Mall. Today we have a Benin City Mall that is second to none in the whole of the South-South. We have improved and gotten accreditation for all our College of Agriculture, which looks more like a university. We have colleges of nursing, college of technologies. All these are brand new. These are things that were left to rot by previous governments. Our government today has laid over 4,000 kilometers of fiber optics across the 18 local governments to improve and to have access to internet by all our people. We have done so many things.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then
fair enough.
I haven't finished, ma'am. May I say something? Mm-hmm. In the healthcare sector, we have over 300,000 Edo people registered in the Edo State Health Insurance Scheme. The pensioners are there for free. They're all registered, so they don't have to think of how much they have to go to hospital. We have neighborhood clinics in the 192 wards, staffed and manned by doctors and qualified nurses. This is in Edo State today. And these are the things we say when we say we have a good story to tell. We are not shy of what we have done. But those that do not like progress, like Mr. or Barrister Nosa Adams, they go on national television to spew rubbish. I challenge him to come with me and I will put him in the bus to go around all these projects in case he has not seen them. Where his office is in Benin City, the street light there is powered by Oshomo. Oshomo gives us light 24 hours. That was brought into the state by Edo State government under Obaseki. We have 2 ethanol refineries working here today. We have the Edo State Oil Palm Program. that has brought in over $1 billion investment in Edo State under this government. But this money is not going to Nosa's pocket, so it says this government has done absolutely nothing.
Well, let's move on to other issues that are currently...
We have 3 modular refineries producing diesel.
Mr. Nehikhare,
I just want to clear. It's got to be clear across the country.
We agree with you, but for the sake of time, if we allow you to reel out all the accolades, we might not be able to conclude this interview sufficiently. So we get where you're going, and we appreciate it.
We'll be here till next year if I have to reel out everything.
Exactly. So let's move on to other issues that are trending in Edo State right now. I'm sure, as you're aware, this judgment that has just come in concerning the PDP primaries. How do you interpret the judgment? As we had a previous guest, PDP National Publicity Secretary on here. The governorship primaries, some are saying that the exclusion of the 378 delegates, now that is the issue. And some are saying that the judgment goes farther to say that Asue Ighodalo is no longer his candidacy is null and void. How do you interpret this confusing judgment?
I don't think it's confusing at all. What I think is the press that wants to believe it's confusing. The APC lawyer, Barrister Emata, he said everything. He ended by saying by implication. By implication, which means he is the one offering his opinion. The judge did not mention those things he said. He said by implication. If you play this video at the beginning of this program, after talking about the judgment, he said by implication. Judges do not give by implication. So there's really nothing to worry about, not to speak about. He has spoken what we know. It's unfortunate that he's a lawyer and he has to use his opinion to determine what a judge is trying to do. Who is he to reply on what a judge is supposed to say? Now, what they are trying to do is like what the National Police Secretary said. They're trying to deflect. They're trying to destroy. Because now, they are scared stiff of our candidate. Our candidate has the best resume you can come about compared to their candidates. Is readily acceptable, is accessible, is accessible. He knows everything, and he has brought out a manifesto to describe how to move us from to a first world. We challenge APC to talk about issues and not try to distract. A few weeks ago, they were trying to drag in our revered palace into politics. When that failed, they now make up stories about nullification or disqualification. It's false, and we know. It's like the orchestra. It's like the orchestra has collapsed. And we look forward to September 21st to beat them blue-black.
Oh,
Edo people do not
said.
want to hear anything about APC. You know that. You see, they brought a bad inflation, they destroyed our currency, and they have done absolutely nothing in the last 9 years. How can anybody want to vote that kind of party A to a subnational where they have a governor that feels for them and has done everything to build a state where other states now come to learn? They want to be like us.
Okay,
Edo State
just
has
as
a very
I
good story
asked,
to tell.
just as I asked your National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Debo Olugwagba, who said that the court did not nullify Asue Ighodalo's candidacy, I asked him to tell me what the court actually said, and he wasn't able to. He's just saying that the court had no locus standi to even entertain the matter. I don't know if you can help me with what the actual judgment really is. That's on one side. But on the other hand, the APC's candidate, Monday Okpebolo, says the court's decision means that the people of Edo State will be saved from other future agony, and that he's calling on Asue Ighodalo to step down. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first, I think I talked about, first of all, Monday Okpebolo.
No, let's start with the court judgment. I don't know. You have said that the court did not nullify Asue Ighodalo's candidacy.
I will cut to the
so
court
what did the
judgment.
court
I don't think Monday Okpebolo can make the sentence
well?
which you just said. I want him to come out and make that sentence or make that statement. He cannot make it. Now, but what the court said, from what I have discussed with other lawyers, and I think the National Police Secretary mentioned it, the court said some 370 people, the representative or so, have come to say they were excluded from participating in the primaries or whatever it was. And then the court said, yes, they were. So, and that's it. The court did not make a pronouncement that they were excluded and as such, the primaries are cancelled. No, the court did not say that. I've told you what the court said. And that is what Matter also said. The court agreed with them that, yes, so and so people were excluded. And that's where the thing ended. But Mr. Matter, Barrister Matter went further to say, by implication. I don't think he has the locals to be talking about implication of what the judge means. And that is where we are. And that is what the press have picked up. But they refuse to use even the words he used. The words by implication. It's not going to imply for the judge. It's not. The judge has spoken. And what we are appealing is to say, we do not agree with you that anybody was excluded.
All
We're
right.
not appealing that. That's all we are appealing with. We're not appealing nullification, but that is not a non-issue. It did not come up. And the law is clear. The 2022 Electoral Act is very clear. Only an aspirant that participated can talk or go to court on these issues. And only the political party can determine who their delegates are.
Well, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and clearing up some of that, Chris Nehikhare. It is Edo State Commissioner for Communications and Orientation. Thank you so much for joining us.